Madam Chair,
Gentleman from North Carolina.
I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will report the title.
Amendment offered by Mr. Butterfield from North Carolina and Mr. Hill from Indiana.
What?
Page 341, line 4.
Objection, the amendment, move the amendment be considered as read. Gentleman's recognized in support of his amendment.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and I'll be brief. I realize that it's late in the afternoon, but thank you for recognizing me. Madam Chair, this amendment provides two clarifications to the transportation section of the bill. I'd like to speak on the second issue in this amendment. The provision grants the EPA administrator the authority to promulgate emission standards for non-road vehicles and engines. While the well-meaning base text seeks to allow the administrator to set standards for the largest emitters, references as locomotives and marine vessels by the end of 2012, the current language fails to differentiate between large and small emitters within those categories, for example, a small engine in a fishing boat. This amendment makes clear that the intent is to have the administrator apply earlier standards to categories based on two criteria. First, these standards should apply to the largest emitters, and then secondly, that the large emitters have the greatest potential for significant and cost-effective emission reductions. In other words, Madam Chair, this amendment directs the administrator to apply standards to categories where the most significant... Yes, I will yield.
Not that it counts, but we're willing to accept it.
Well, I thank you, Ranking Member. I'm going to stop with that and yield the balance of my time to the gentleman from Indiana.
I thank the gentleman from North Carolina for yielding, and I would like to thank the chairman for working with me and Mr. Butterfield on this very important amendment. The first half of this amendment involves sectors in the vehicle and engine industry not covered by the administration's fuel economy ruling this week: heavy-duty, on-highway mobile sources, locomotives, and marine vessels, and non-road vehicles and engines. Diesel engines for 18-wheelers is what it means in layman's term. I've been working with your staff, Mr. Butterfield's staff, and stakeholders to ensure that multiple federal agencies do not have conflicting regulatory authority. The previous draft of the mobile source provision charged both the Department of Transportation and the Environmental Protection Agency with regulatory authority. The agreement we've struck would allow the Environmental Protection Agency the ability to oversee the regulation of these mobile sources. I thank the Chairman and Mr. Butterfield for working together in a bipartisan fashion to craft an amendment that solves two issues in an efficient manner. And if Mr. Shattuck is around, I would yield to him. But
gentleman from North Carolina controls the time. You can yield back to him, and he can yield to me.
Reclaiming my time, I yield to the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Shattuck.
He's not in the room, but he says good things about you telepathically.
We've accepted it.
Well, thank you. I reclaim.
If the gentleman would yield to the chair.
I yield to the chair.
Chairman Waxman would like to commend you and Mr. Hill for your thoughtful work on the amendment. The language that's been developed will provide the engine manufacturers with the lead time and stability they need while ensuring that we get environmental protection. So Chairman Waxman would urge all members to support this amendment.
I thank the chair. I yield back the balance of my
Gentleman
time.
yields back. The vote now.
Madam Chairman?
Yes.
No, do the vote first.
The vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to.